Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Run and Code Humor in South Texas Law Enforcement. I'm your host, T-Bone. As always, my partner getting my back and by my side, J-Man. What's up?
Nothing much. Just another day in paradise.
It is, and it's a beautiful day outside, and we're
It
stuck
is.
in here doing this, but we're doing it for y'all because we love y'all. So today, what are we talking about?
The criminal justice system. Yeah, because that's what we're involved in all day.
See, I started laughing when you said that.
Yeah,
And I'll tell you why I started laughing, because I don't take it serious anymore. I love what I do, and I love to put the people that need to be in jail, but it's hard to take it serious any longer when you have the criminal justice system that's not doing its job.
Yep.
So I remember being told when I was a rookie, all you can do is your job. You can't do anything about district attorneys, judges, juries, nothing you can do about that. You did your part. But it is frustrating as hell to make a good, solid felony arrest, especially for something violent or something that is seriously dangerous, and watch it get watered down to like a plea bargain where they get 6 months probation.
Yep.
And you're just like, this guy's got a 10-mile long criminal history, and you're just giving him probation. What's the detriment? What's keeping him from doing it again?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you show him that we're tough on crime? Nowhere. He's going to keep doing it.
Yep.
Because there was no consequence for his actions. 6 months probation doesn't mean shit to these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the funny but the tragic side of it.
Yeah.
I'll give you a great example. And I think I talked about this in a previous show. When I was on patrol with my partner one night, I went to my little hidey hole to do reports right before we headed into the substation. As I pull in, and my headlights illuminate a car, and I see two people pop their heads up out of the back seat. And I'm just thinking, great, whatever. I'll walk up. Hey guys, let's get out of here. Okay, go seek life elsewhere. Go find a no-tell motel, which those that listened to the last episode know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well, walk up to the car. Immediately, I'm looking at her. I'm looking at him. She looks like a kid, and he looks like an adult. I'm like, okay. He turned out to be in his 20s. She was 16. Yep. So that automatic, and we caught them in the act. Like the car still smells like sex. The condoms on the floorboard. They were having sex, and they didn't deny it either. Now this is all pre-camera, and I'd love to have gotten their statements on camera, but I still don't think it would have mattered in the end. And I'll tell you why when you'll figure out why here in a minute. So I separated them immediately. Hey, told my partner, take her. I got him. I'm like, hey man, how old are you? And he finally told me his age. I go to her. I'm like, how old are you? She goes, I'm 16. Okay. You were having sex. Yeah. He's a grown man. You're a child. I said, I'll be 17 in a month and a half. And those that don't know, Texas is 17 is the age of consent.
Yeah.
Texas is like 18 other states. It's 17 here in Texas.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's still sexual assault of a child. It's still a major felony. This is not something we can just ignore. Well, she's cool with it. Let's have a nice day. No, that's out of my hands at that point. That's a decision way above my pay grade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I started, I need a female officer over here. I need detectives out here. I need crime scene out here because they're going to have to obviously get that condom. We're going to have to swab the seats. We're going to have to impound the car for evidence. I mean, it's turned into a whole thing. So we get them separated. I got him handcuffed in the back of my Tahoe. He's crying, sir, I'm going to the military. And I said, the fuck you are. No, you're not. That ship has sailed.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, I don't have to talk to you anymore. I said, that's true. You don't have to. I said, but you're not a suspect in a crime. You're a victim. Whether you realize it or not, you're actually a victim. He's a grown man. You're a child. Like, this is not, he just turned 18 and you're about to turn 17 in a month. Like, you're a child. And then it turns out they've been dating 3 years. Now do the math. I want to say he was 20. Okay. I want to say he was 20 years old. But that means she was 13 and he was 17.
Yeah.
Disgusting any way you slice it.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So the girl ended up calling her parents, who called his parents. Now we're on the completely other side of the county from where they live. Completely other side of the county. Like 40 miles from where they live. That's why they were on our side of town.
Right.
Okay. Both sets of parents show up. It's starting to turn into a zoo. Luckily, by this time, I got other deputies there. I got a supervisor on scene now. I got crime scenes already there because it took them like an hour to get out there. Crime scenes, doing their thing. Parents like, no, we're totally cool with this. We're totally cool with this. What do you mean you're totally cool with this? He's a grown man. She's a child. Yeah, but she's almost 17. I said, but they told me they've been dating 3 years. Do you think this is the first time they've had sex?
Yeah, no.
Like, come on. So now I got to notify CPS.
Mm-hmm.
Because these are parents that have been allowing this relationship with an adult, with their minor daughter. Like, I have to notify CPS. We're mandatory reporters. A lot of people don't realize that either. Mandatory reporters, cops, nurses, paramedics, firemen, doctors, teachers. These are all mandatory reporters. If we view or suspect child abuse, child neglect, child needs supervision, we're mandated by law to report this to CPS. We don't have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
What CPS does with it is their call after that. I'll give you an example. I pull over a car. You got 3 kids in it. You got drugs on you. I have to notify CPS.
Yeah.
You had narcotics in the presence of children. I have to notify CPS. It's not an option. I would be fired if I didn't.
Yeah.
So great. Now I got to notify CPS on top of all this crap. So the parents are like, no, we're okay with this. And we love him and he's going to marry our daughter. I said, well, he wasn't married to her now. And if he was, totally different story.
Yeah.
He wasn't. So that now I have to enforce the law. The law says he has committed sexual assault of a child. That's where we're at. And it's a slam dunk. So we had a female officer take the female juvenile victim, and she's still a victim. I don't care what the parents say, she's a victim. With the mom over to the hospital to get a SANE. Sexual assault nurse exam is what a SANE is. That's where we gather DNA evidence, pubic hair. We look for vaginal tearing, anal tearing, evidence of sexual penetration, cervical erosion, tearing of the vaginal walls or orifice. These are all signs of sexual assault. And those nurses are certified and trained by law enforcement to testify in court about what they viewed as from the results. And then we took him for his SANE to a different hospital entirely. We don't put the victim to the same hospital as the perpetrator.
Yeah.
It's 2 separate places.
Yep.
We take the children to a children's hospital. We take the adult to another place. So we took him in there, and they held him down and did their job. And when they're a victim, they're not going to force you. They cannot force you as a victim to do a SANE. But a suspect doesn't get a choice. We're going to get your DNA. We're going to swab you. Well, we're not. The nurses are. But the orderlies that hold these guys down and the nurses that take the sample are not really what you call gentle with a suspect. They tend to put their hands on you if you're not going to cooperate. And we step outside. We don't need to be in there. And we'll hear thump, thump, crash sometimes. Just take everything okay in here? Yep. Well, you guys got it. And we'll step right back out. They got his. I'm thinking problem solved. Easy slam dunk. Easy felony. On-site arrest. I'm gold. Booked the dude in for sexual assault, wrote my report up. Cool. Didn't hear anything on it for a while because usually it takes a while. It's not like the movies. Like, anyways, watch SVU from the arrest to the trial is like a week. Wrong. Yeah. Maybe in a very small Podunk County where there is nothing criminal-wise going on and they can actually speed through this process. Not happening in a county this big, or Austin or Dallas or Tarrant or Houston or El Paso. It's not going to happen that fast. You're talking months before it even gets to an indictment. So I eventually, I think what it was is I end up calling. No, I looked him up. I wanted to see what the status was. It said dismissed. I was like, dismissed? I said dismissed missing witness. I'm the witness. What do you mean dismissed missing witness? So I called the prosecutor. Hey, what's going on with this case? Oh, we dismissed it. Why? I handed you the bow, wrapping paper, and a gift card. An easy, you could just bang the plea bargain out of it and got a win. But he's still a convicted sex offender now. Well, the parents are okay with this. They don't want to press charges. They said that they're good kids, and we didn't feel that we could get their cooperation. I said, but you don't need their cooperation.
It's the state.
It's the state pressing the charges on behalf of the juvenile victim. Now, we can't make her testify, but you don't need her to testify. I witnessed it. I am the credible witness. No, yeah, we're dropped the whole thing. And he's going to the military. No, he's not. So the head of recruiting for the entire Southwest was a friend of mine. We actually were drill sergeants together at Lackland Air Force Base a long time ago. I called him direct. Here's what's going on with this kid. And they had no idea because they'd already done his background check prior to this.
Okay.
So they didn't know that this had occurred afterwards. And the kid obviously didn't walk in and tell his recruiter, oh, hey, by the way, I got arrested for sexual assault of a child this weekend.
Yeah.
So he looked him up. He already had his background check. Well, we arrested him for sexual assault of a child. I said, the DA's dismissed the case. I said, but I do not want this heard in my beloved Air Force. I don't need him doing the same shit with another girl wearing the uniform of this man's military. He goes, oh, I wholeheartedly agree. Can I get a copy of the report? Yes, sir. I went to set the records, got a copy, faxed it to him. He read it and said he will never join the military in any branch because he's not just Air Force recruiting. He knows all the heads of recruiting for all the other branches too. So he made sure they all knew about it, and he got federally unhireable forever.
Yeah.
I feel not one bit bad about it. That needed to happen. But that's an example of I did my job, and the DA's office failed to do theirs.
Yeah, I remember hearing like, and I still hear from time to time, like, a prosecutor is like the bastion of like deciding justice and like real justice. If like a charge is worth it, like going after it or not. No, it's not. It's like well, what is going to be politically viable?
Expedient,
yeah, politically viable, and what's going to like feed the beast that is like currently out there like pushing like some sort of like narrative. That's really all it is. I remember like a guy I had ended up this case was already over and done with. It was one of my first DWIs I ever had, like when I first started on patrol. This guy had already had 3 DWIs, and they all kept getting reduced to obstruction of the highway. My fourth, like the fourth time he got charged with the DWI that I got him with, I think he was high on coke, and he was drunk. He almost caused a crash, and like at a busy intersection. Me and a partner had to fight with him. He finally got his first DWI conviction after 3 arrests for it already.
Ridiculous. And at that point, that's a 3rd-degree felony. Keeps getting enhanced. Up.
But oh boy, that good old justice system, he definitely got a lot of justice. They got justice for this guy. 4 chances, 4 opportunities he's been
That's
caught.
4 times he's been caught.
4 times he's been caught.
Which means he's done it 50 times for every 1 time we caught him.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of time before he kills somebody.
Yep.
That's coming. Hopefully it's just him, not 2 other people he takes out with him going down the road. But statistically, it's not going to be him.
Yeah.
So for those that don't understand how this works, prosecutors are rated on wins. Losses do not look good for a prosecutor.
Nope.
So a plea bargain is considered a win. So
even if it's a sorry ass.
Even if it's a sorry ass plea bargain, is if they give it out there and the guy accepts it, and now he's convicted of whatever it is, he's on probation, that is a win. And when the new DAs come around, when there's a re-election or they're looking at numbers, maybe they need to get rid of some DAs or whatever, they're going to look at who has the most wins. They're not going to look behind and further underneath the wins to see what they were.
Yeah.
How many wins did you have? You had 300 cases you prosecuted, 290 of them were wins. That's good numbers. But if you look deeper, maybe only 5 actually went to a trial, where the person flat out said, nope, I didn't do it, and we're going to trial. Mm-hmm. Okay, now we have our chance to shine in court. Because contrary to the movies and TV, court's not as exciting as it looks like on TVs and movies. It's actually very dry. It's very, oh, yes, sir. My turn. And that's the realities of it. It's not supposed to be, it's supposed to be hooting and hollering and yelling and, Your Honor, I object and all this. Yeah. It's nothing like that. And TVs want to make it seem interesting, so they make it seem like there's yelling and screaming and hollering and books being thrown at people. No.
Well,
it's really not like that.
The Gwyneth Paltrow trial was pretty funny.
Okay, but that was civil. Civil is probably a little different. Criminal, I've never seen anybody lose their temper really flip out in a criminal trial, because the script is almost pre-written, honestly, by the time it gets to a trial. The defense attorney and the prosecutor get together and talk about these things and what's off limits, and the judge has ruled on this and that. Yeah, you're not going to have all that hooting and hollering and yelling and banging gavels and all that crap.
Mm-hmm.
But what's disappointing, the way the criminal justice system works is law enforcement does 1 of 2 things when they make contact with you. We either arrest you on the spot for an on-site arrest, or we file the charge at large. So let's say we don't have enough evidence right there to arrest you. What we'll do is we'll file the report, send it off to Criminal Investigation Division. They'll look at it and go, I believe a crime has been committed and I have enough evidence here to walk a warrant. At that point, they will write up an arrest warrant and they'll forward it off. They'll take it to the magistrate. The judge will sign it. They'll enter in the system. Now as a warrant. Now it's called if it's a felony, a pre-indicted fugitive.
Yep.
He's not been indicted yet. We just want to get him into custody, get his fingerprints and mugshot. He'll bond out, get his charges. He gets a lawyer to start the process. And then they'll have arraignment, all that crap. It varies by state. But this is how it works here. Or we arrest them on the spot. They come in, they bond out, they get a trial date. And now, if it's a felony, it goes to a grand jury.
Mm-hmm.
A grand jury decides if there's enough evidence that a crime really, truly was committed. Either downgrade it, change it. We want more evidence. We don't agree, whatever. If they indict and say, yes, we believe that enough evidence that a crime has been committed, they indict them and we issue another warrant. In post-indictment fugitive, Now you've been indicted by grand jury for a felony offense.
Mm-hmm.
Misdemeanors, there is no grand jury for misdemeanors. It's just the case gets sent to the DA's office. They get a court date, walk a warrant. Dude gets picked up. Here's your court date. We'll see you in court.
Yeah.
Felonies mean state prison time. That's what that means. So misdemeanors are not state prison time. Felonies are state prison time and up. So that's why you have to be indicted. You get indicted. Now we have a trial. You're going to have a motion to suppress first, where your lawyer's going to sit with the prosecutor, and they're going to go over all the evidence, and the defense attorney is going to make his case, his or her case, I should say. For the purpose of this, his and her, just use his. We both mean his and her. We're not misgendering anybody. They take that.
Oh boy.
I know. That's a whole other episode. So they take it before a judge and say, we believe this was an unconstitutional arrest based on this, or we believe it should be thrown out because of this evidence we don't agree with, or whatever, or it makes our client look bad, and that's all we got, Your Honor. Please, see it my way. If the judge agrees, then the case is dismissed, or maybe that particular portion is dismissed from the case. Maybe the PC was good with the stop, then like something you said on camera, so they're going to black that out on the camera. Whatever. There's a lot of going on behind the scenes that people don't realize and see. If the judge said this trial is going to go forward, I don't want to suppress anything, or it all looks good to me, or just mute the audio from the body camera. You can still play the video or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now we set a trial date. That can be another 6 to 9 months down the road, setting a trial date in a county this big. We only got, 12 felony courts, 12 district courts here, something like that, 12, I think, 11 or 12. Not that many for a county this large.
Yeah.
It should probably be 50 district courts, honestly. Then you go to a trial. Then you got your opening statement from the prosecutor, because it's the prosecutor's case. So they get the opening statement to the jury. And then the defense attorney has their opening statement. And then away it goes from there. And after that, it's theater for the jury. We're trying to convince 12 people of the jury that are too stupid to get off jury duty that this person is either innocent or guilty, depending on which side of the road you're on. And that's how the criminal justice system works. And typically, if it goes to trial and you get found guilty, you're going to get time.
Yeah.
Because they offered a plea bargain. I guarantee you they offered a plea bargain of some sort. Even if it was, we'll offer you 10 years. You serve 8. Oh, fuck you, I ain't taking it. Okay, now we're going to trial. And then you get convicted and do 25 years. Probably should have taken the plea bargain. But the better you prepare your case as a patrol officer and as a detective is you can make a stronger plea bargain.
Yeah.
So if the guy, let's say you caught him in the aggravated robbery, you got him into custody, the better you write that report and the better your evidence, the prosecutor could be like, you know what? I'm going to offer him 15 years. See if he'll take it. Because if not, he could serve with his record 40 years, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
These are numbers I'm throwing out there. People don't take them serious. So they're going to go, I'll tell you what, man, you got all this evidence. We're going to offer you 15 years. You got to serve 85% or 75% or whatever. With good behavior, Oh, fuck yeah, I ain't taking that deal. Okay, well, I guess now we're going to trial because we have a good, solid case because it was on camera. The officer wrote a good report. He's credible. You sure with your criminal history? You sure you want to take that risk? Yeah, fuck you. I didn't do it. Okay, let's go trial. And then you go to trial and guilty as charged and they get 35 years now. It's like, well, you had your chance.
And it's kind of funny, the things that the criminal justice system will allow. People who represent themselves when the evidence is overwhelming. Because there's a certain decorum, and our listeners out there that are paralegals, attorneys of any type, any kind. Maybe got some judges watching. Who knows? Get some judges up on this show. Yeah, it'd be nice.
I wouldn't mind interviewing a judge.
A certain decorum you're supposed to have in court.
Yeah, and lawyers know what it is.
Oh yeah, but Johnny guy who's fighting this case in court, and he has all this type of cases he looked up. He's put together that defense, and it don't work out. Very
rarely I've ever seen anybody defend themselves and get acquitted.
That sovereign defense.
Oh, then there's that. Then those guys never get acquitted.
All of a sudden, the court doesn't have jurisdiction because for there to be a victim, there has to be an actual person offended or hurt.
Yeah,
I've heard that one before.
I've heard that one too.
It's really funny. I love it. It's great.
I think everybody should actually sit in a trial once and just realize how fucked up our justice system is. But I will tell you this, I've been around the world and we still have the fairest one around the world.
Oh yeah,
so
some countries.
Say what you want about ours, some countries there is no such thing as a civil right, and there is definitely no such thing as a fair trial. It does not exist.
Or a Miranda warning.
Over there, you don't have the right to remain silent. You're going to talk to them, and if you don't, they'll start breaking bones until you do. Here, we don't force that. You don't want to talk to us? Fine. I mean, if you don't want to, that's on you, not on me. I tried.
That's why, like, sophisticated criminals from different countries, when they come over here and commit crimes, they get away with it a lot more because they're afforded more rights here. Which I think that's the right thing. There should be a presumption of innocence to someone being charged with the crime.
Well, yeah, and here that's what your work off is. But let me explain to the listeners that don't understand this. Innocent until proven guilty applies to juries. It does not apply to law enforcement. To us, you're guilty. We wouldn't have arrested you or walked a warrant on you if we thought you were innocent.
Yeah,
Innocent until proven guilty applies to juries. That is their premise, is they think you're innocent and it is up to the state to prove this person's guilt. The person being accused does not have to prove his innocence. The prosecutor has to prove their guilt.
yeah,
So that's why innocent until proven guilty applies to the jury. It does not apply to the prosecutor. It does not apply to the police officers or detectives that are working the case. So people are like, I'm innocent until proven guilty. Not with me or not, because I wouldn't have arrested you if I thought you were innocent.
yeah,
I would have been like, hey, maybe we need more evidence. Because as cops, we are supposed to work just as hard to convict somebody as we should be to clear them. If you really truly didn't do it, why would I force it to convict you when there's a real turd running around out there somewhere that we need to get,
yeah.
in custody? So this whole we railroad people. No, not really. That probably in the 50s, 60s, 40s. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure it happened quite a bit. It was just easier. There was a lot of racial and social demographics at the time too that kind of drove that.
Yeah.
Wrong as hell, obviously. But these days, no, I can't. In 11 years of doing this, I can't think of a single case I've seen where someone was actually railroaded. They were caught.
Yeah.
You can call it being railroaded, but you got caught. And that's just that simple. You got caught. I'm sorry. Now, you have the God-given right of every American to go to court and lie and weasel your way out of it. That's the God-given right of every American. But you got caught. Now you're going to face the penalties. Will the district attorney's office or the prosecutors actually hold your feet to the fire?
And 9 times out of 10, I mean, you'll get like a warm foot soak. You ain't getting raked over the coals.
You might even get your foot massaged.
Yeah.
They just want the stat.
You're getting a 4-star pedicure.
So, and you brought up earlier obstructing highway intoxication. DWI is a class B. Obstructed highway intoxication is class B. But the obstructed highway could be you fell asleep on the side of the highway.
Yeah, it's a less serious
versus
offense.
DWI, even though they're both the same level of offense. One can keep you can keep your job, and the other one you might be fired. So that's why they offer it. Well, it's a B, but you don't got to do the drug treatment or alcohol treatment. You don't have to have the breathalyzer and toxilizer in your car. Yeah.
I mean, you were only just driving on a public highway or a road or whatever, and you're swerving all over the lane of other cars, or for some reason you stopped 40 feet before the traffic signal, and you didn't move when the other cars were honking their horn behind you. It was no real reason. You fell asleep at a Whataburger drive-through like this.
Yep, I've seen
spit
that.
dripping from
I've
your
had
head.
a couple DWIs from that.
Oh no. Obstruction of the highway, buddy.
The other one's Taco Bell.
Oh yeah.
A lot of Taco Bell, 2 a.m. when the bar's let out, man, they're sleeping at the Taco Bell drive-thru, and they call, of course, 911, and we get there and very carefully try to reach in and put it in park so we don't wake them up and they hit the gas. Usually what we do is you run spikes under the front and back tires and just gently reach in and put it in park, and then, hey, man, you okay? Oh, and they floor it. Yeah, nice try. Come out the window, let's have a chat.
Pretty much. It's not that we got your blood specimen back, because we had to get a warrant because you refused, and your blood came back 0.18, 0.20, 0.29. Oh no, obstruction of highway.
Two weeks ago, we got a gal. I did the breathalyzer. I did the intoxilizer for the patrolman that got her. 10:30 in the morning, 0.284, 3.5 times the legal limit.
Obstruction of highway, man. That person definitely wasn't
the
legal definition of intoxicated.
Well, the thing is, she might actually. This might actually go through. She already had 2 priors. She admitted it completely on camera, how much she drank, where she was coming from, all that. So hers might actually go through because she doesn't have a whole lot of defense to actually stand on. So now back to the criminal justice system, though. So let's say you go to court, jury deliberates, we find you guilty of this offense, the judge or the jury. Because you can get what's called a bench trial where you just be tried by the judge. No jury, you tried by the judge. And if the judge is liberal enough, you might walk. Or you might get the lightest sentence on the planet. If it's a jury trial, the jury will... your punishment, your bench trial, the judge will fit your punishment. And then the judge sets your punishment. And if it's any kind of time, you go back to the jail immediately. If you're put on probation right then and there, you're not going back to the jail.
Yeah.
You go down, talk to the probation office. They put you on probation. They do all that jazz, and you're on probation. If you're going to do time, the bailiff immediately places you in custody, and they transport you to the jail, and they confine you. If you're going to prison, you go to the jail first, and then after you've been in the jail, you get what's called catching chain, where the TDCJ comes and picks you up in the middle of the night, no notice. You don't even get told you're leaving. And the unit officer calls up and says, pack your shit, you're going. And that way you have no time to call anybody because we shut down the phones of the jail, so you can't call anybody and tell them you're leaving because you don't need to get ambushed,
Or those times people follow the bus.
Yep, or follow the bus. We don't need that. So, and they come pick you up, and away you go off to the prison of Texas' choice. Usually people go to Garza first for their classification, figure out where they're going from there. Low risk might be going here, high risk might be going here, whatever. And that's the justice system. And then don't get me started on the parole board. So that's the criminal justice system in a nutshell. It's frustrating, but for our officers listening, all you can do is your job. Just do your job. You cannot control what the prosecutors do, the ADAs do, the judges do, juries do, defense lawyers. That's out of your control. And save yourself a lot of aggravation right now by just realizing that some things are out of your control. You do your job to the best of your abilities. You write that report right. You save the evidence right, and then just let it fall where it falls after that, because there's nothing you can do about it. It used to drive me nuts and raise my blood pressure. Now I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's nothing I can do about it.
Same.
So I do my job, and I'll let it go at that. I'm not going to no longer raise my blood pressure and get pissed off over stuff out of my control.
Yeah.
Because it's just a waste of my time. Now, if you're one of these officers listening to us that actually lives in a county that they're very proactive law enforcement, the prosecutors and the district attorneys actually believe in law and order and believe in justice, well, brother, we wish you could join you. We're stuck in this one. We're making it work as best we can. We're getting overwhelmed. It is what it is. Like any big city, the crime rate keeps rising. And hey, what are you going to do? We'll do our job.
Yep.
That's all we can do.
That's all you can do.
So, and like we say, if we didn't get them today, we'll get them tomorrow. Because a turd's always going to be a turd. So if I can't get them today, there'll be another day. So I got nothing left to add on this subject. You?
No. Unless we just want to sit here and for the next 20 minutes and talk about ridiculous plea bargains. No, I don't think nobody wants
that
to.
Would just raise my blood pressure. Yeah. That would raise my blood pressure. Or murder? All right, we'll give you 20 out in 10 for good behavior. Oh, I guess crime really does pay.
Yep.
I was told by an FTO when I first came on, he said every criminal has a number in their head of years they're willing to do. They all know it's a possibility they get caught. They all have a number in their head that they're willing to do time-wise. And that's the thing. If the prosecutor can find that number, easy plea bargain.
Yeah.
So I heard that. And you know what? I have not found that to be untrue.
Yeah.
I have found that to be true for the last 11 years.
Very true.
So, brothers, sisters, we want you to stay safe out there. Please watch your back. Take care of each other. This world's rough and this job's hard enough without not watching your partner's back and taking care of yourselves. Citizens, we appreciate you listening. Thank you very much. You be safe as well. Listen to what we say. I know it's supposed to be humorous, but there's lessons in everything we talk about, and the more you know, the better armed you are. So from J-Man and myself at Run and Code, we thank you for joining us this week, and everybody take care of themselves, and we're out of here.
Oh, yeah.